Morning, all. All right, so we should have 6 games tonight. Fingers crossed. And it's going to be interesting to see which of the teams that were hot at the break end up staying that way, and which teams that were ice cold managed to turn it around. That maybe the time off helped them out. So we've got 3 games starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, and we have 1 game starting at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. So they're spread out. We're starting with the 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific start between the New Jersey Devils and the Buffalo Sabres. These teams met October 23rd. New Jersey won that game 2-1 in overtime. So both teams 10, 15, and 5. Both teams in the running for Shane Wright right now. Last 10 games for New Jersey, they're 1-8-1. They've lost 6 in a row in regulation. The last 10 games for Buffalo, they're 2-5-3. Their last game, they lost in extra time. So Buffalo's playing moderately better than New Jersey right now. And we'll see whether or not that continues tonight. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific start between the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers. November 8th, these teams met, and the Rangers won that game 4-3. That was in New York. This was in Florida. We'll see if that change of venue has any effect on the Florida Panthers, who are better at home than on the road, although lately it's been kind of rough for them to get wins anywhere. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. They have lost 3 in a row in regulation, whereas over their last 10, the New York Rangers 6-3-1. They lost their last game in extra time. The Rangers are 19-7-4. Florida's 18-7-4. So records are very close. However, it feels like these teams are going in opposite directions. So Florida, one of those teams that we'll see whether or not the break helped them out. And again, I'm not getting into who is or isn't in the lineup for all these teams, because then these little squares here are not going to be enough. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Nashville Predators and the Washington Capitals. Nashville 19-10-1. Over their last 10, they're 8-2. They've won 7 in a row. So now it's this is really the ultimate test of, is that momentum going to carry over, right? For the Capitals, in their 18-6-7 record over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. They lost their last game in regulation. And for Washington, if they can keep being 5-3-2 in every 10 games, they'll make the playoffs. And then we'll see where they're at. But Nashville's a good test for them tonight. Then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, the Edmonton Oilers in against the St. Louis Blues. On November 14th, the Oilers won this game 5-4. We'll see how it goes tonight. The Oilers are now 18-11 on the season over their last 10. They're only 4-6, however. They did win the last 2 games before the break. St. Louis 17-9-5 on the season over their last 10, 6-2-2. However, their last game they lost in regulation. So we'll see how things go tonight between these two teams. Then we get to the 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific start between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Seattle Kraken. This is the final meeting between these teams this year. The Flyers won the first one October 18th, 6-1. And we'll see how things go now that they're playing in Seattle. Seattle's 10-17-3 on the season. Over their last 10, they're 4-4-2, and they lost their last 2 games in regulation. So while it's still relatively young in the season, or so we think, we'll see. We'll see if we get to game 82, right? Fingers crossed and all that. But for Seattle, it is into they need to get on a winning streak territory right now. The Flyers, in their 12-12-5 record over their last 10, they're 4-5-1. They did win their last game, and they seem to be better since the coaching change. We'll see if that continues to be the case. And then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, the Vancouver Canucks and Anaheim Ducks meet for the 3rd time already. November 9th, Anaheim won Vancouver 3-2 in overtime. November 14th, Anaheim won 5-1. It's a very good test for the Canucks, who are now 14-15-2 over their last 10. They're 8-2. They have won 6 in a row. Anaheim 17-9-6, and with the recent hot streak of the Vegas Golden Knights, are no longer first in the division. Over their last 10, they're 6-1-3, and the last game they played was one of the 3, a loss in extra time. So for Anaheim, they're still racking up points, and for Vancouver, they're trying to get back into the playoff picture. And all of a sudden, now I'm seeing articles like, "Oh no, they can get into the playoffs." Let's just pump the brakes a little bit here. Hot streak's fantastic, and we'll see whether or not they can keep it up. So, this could be a very interesting game to close out the night. Let me know your picks in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And again, fingers crossed we get to that 82-game schedule. We'll figure it out. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.